Hi folks, John Hecker here again, the pro at Brooklyn Country Club in Rochester, New York. Today I'm going to show you how a tour player uses the different parts of the club. Now I'm going to describe the different parts of the club in black here at the front of my 60-degree wedge. I'm going to call that the leading edge. A tour player will use that for his iron shots, full shots, things that he's trying to take a divot, things that he's trying to hit far. Then they will use the back edge of the club, called the bounce. Now the bounce has an angle to it, which helps to keep your club from digging into the ground. So what I'm going to show you here is at Doral I watched David Lingmerth hit a whole series of shots around the greens. Really fascinating stuff. Probably got 25 shots of them here. And we'll show you how he uses different parts of the club to hit his shots. And hopefully if you learn to use this, you'll be able to more shots around the green and lower your scores. So I thought I'd first show you David Lingmerth hitting a full shot. So this wasn't at the tournament. This was something on TV. You can see the divots taken. And this part, he's using that spot that I had highlighted in black. He's using the leading edge of the club. So as we watch here, is a nice rounded swing. Captures a nice divot here, and his ball stopped nicely on the green. All right, so let's go to the wedge shots that he's hitting here. Now, as I said, we've got quite a few here, so as you watch, you'll be able to pick up some of the things that he's doing. So he's actually using now the spot of the club that I had highlighted in orange. So you can see he's very close to the ball. Again, an excellent thing to copy. His feet are close together. He doesn't need a very wide stance because obviously he can hit the ball plenty far. You probably can pick it up a little bit that the club face looks like it's slightly open. It's leaned open here. And then as you watch his shots, you can see that they're actually stopping pretty quickly, pretty close to the hole. The thing that I found interesting is he hit this whole series of balls and didn't take one divot. And this is a really tight lie. So why would a tour player do that? Well, they're playing on very fast, firm greens off of very tight lies. So he has to use the back edge of the club so that he doesn't take a divot, or as we would term it, chili dip the ball. And they work on it hard and they become pretty good at it. Our greens are very fast greens, but not as fast as tour greens. Tour greens are to the point where the person's really, for the most part, trying to land his ball really softly on the green. So as you can see, David's shots here, they're all kind of piling up around the hole. And again, as I said, you can kind of take a couple things out of this without trying to read too much into it. Number one is how close he is to the ball. Number two is how narrow his stance is. And people say, well, you don't use your body at all. Watch David Lingmerth here. That looks to me like he's using his body some. Now, interestingly enough, he tries to hit a high shot here, which I thought was kind of funny. So he sets the blade open, big swing, same pin, ball stops pretty quick. And then he must have been bored with that, so he went back to the lower shot. But as you can see, I'm picking up on this. Now he's going to hit some longer shots here that I videoed. So I'm going to take you through that, a little different angle on it. Again, you can see how close he is to the ball. Again, his face is somewhat open, a little longer swing. I also thought it was interesting how long he had to watch till this ball rolled out. So you can tell these are really fast greens. Again, look at the area he's hitting from. No divots. No divots whatsoever. Again, close to the ball. That means he's using the orange part that we talked to the club, which is keeping your club from digging. Again, gives you a little bit better chance of making solid contact. You do that by opening the club face slightly. And then I'm going to take you through some he hits up in the air. So here's a couple of them that he's going to hit up in the air. Again, you can kind of pick out that he's using the bounce of the club. Again, no divot. He had a little kicking of the ground there, but again, very close. Ironically, with his full swing when he used, we saw Muirfield there, he looked like a rounded swinger. He does not look rounded here. He looks like he's swinging pretty up and down, and you can see the ball right here, so he's kicked it up nicely into the air. So, something interesting to watch, see how a tour player does it. It looks like he has no problem going high and low with his shots, which would always be something good to work on. And, it looks like he adjusts the face to go high and creates a little bit more of an arc to do that, and to go low. Again, he's got the face slightly open so he doesn't dig, but I'm sure the ball's a little bit further back in his stance. But standing close to the ball with your feet pretty close would be good things to copy. And hopefully you can work on this spring and lower your scores. Hope to see you out in the course soon.